About 8 years ago, I got a message on Facebook from a teenager asking if I knew her mother back in college because she might be my kid. Now, after I got over the shock, I messaged her back, we talked a little bit, I paid for a DNA test, and turns out I have a daughter. Her name's Katie. We talked a little bit more, I got to know her stepdad, Jim, and her mom, Tina, got to know her a little bit better, and her half-siblings, and they're all pretty cool. And honestly, I can't praise Jim enough. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met, and basically a human teddy bear. Overall, I'd say Katie and I have a decent enough relationship. I never married and I don't have any other children, so I've been taking her on vacations with me and she's spent a few holidays at my house. But overall, our relationship is much more like that of two adults rather than a parent and child. She doesn't call me dad, she calls Jim dad and me Ron. I contributed to her college fund, but not as much as Jim and Tina did, and that wasn't a big deal for me because I make a lot more money than they do and have no other kids. Last week, she called me to tell me that her long-term boyfriend proposed, and she asked me to walk her down the aisle. I told her that I was honored, but that I didn't think it was fair for me to take that moment from Jim, who raised her since she was a toddler and just because we share DNA. She said that she wants both of us to walk her down the aisle, one on either side. I told her that I didn't think it was fair to him to share that moment either, and that even if Jim said he was okay with it, and I'm sure he would because Jim wouldn't deny Katie anything, no matter how much it hurt his feelings, it probably broke his heart for her to ask that. She said okay and hung up the phone, but she hasn't been happy to talk to me since. Last night I called Katie and apologized for hurting her feelings, and I asked her to meet Jim and I for Sunday brunch so that we could talk about and work out how to do all of this together. I want to find some amicable solution that makes everyone happy. Sorry this took so long. Brunch ran a little bit late. It kind of turned into lunch and then into the waitress giving us mean looks for hogging a table for so long, but the talk was really productive and I tipped well, so I call this a win. So we all met at the restaurant, Katie, Jim, Katie's fiance, who by coincidence has the same name as me, so we'll call him Other Ron, and me. We beat around the bush for about 20 minutes while we ordered and waited for food, and then we got down to it. After a lot of discussion and reassurance that we all love each other very much, except Other Ron, who barely knows me, but he seems all right, we came to a decision. I will walk Katie into the church and pass her off to Jim, who will walk her down the aisle while I get to my seat. I'm really looking forward to the wedding. We beat around the bush for about 20 minutes